Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max&JuanCast. It's a little short one, bro. It's gonna be a short one for you guys. We're gonna be talking some NBA, kind of a emergency pod.
Are we gonna
kind of
say the
deal.
team's name we're talking about? Are we back?
Yeah, we got to, bro. But before we get into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment down below, thoughts, opinions, whatever you want, bro. Shout out to the audio listeners, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Go ahead and 5-star rate us on there. With all that said, you knew this was coming. Lakers, we gotta talk about it. We have
Who's beating that fucking team? One.
Everybody is beating that team,
dude.
Like I had to second guess myself today, Max, because I almost put on a Laker hat for this pod.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I was just like, no, I don't. It's disgusting right now.
I almost burnt my Lakers jersey. I really want to just say I'm really against the don't burn a jersey. I think it's totally cool if you want to burn a jersey. I'm all for it.
I disagree.
I'm all for burning jersey. If you have a Russell Westbrook jersey, that might be the one exception to one's rule. I think you're allowed to burn that jersey. Laker Russell Westbrook.
I mean, just put it this way: as bad as there's a lot of players for the Raiders side that you can burn for a jersey, but probably the worst one of them all, Jamarcus Russell. I still think fans should not burn Jamarcus Russell's jersey. Don't do it, okay? Don't be that person, man. You can't disrespect the squad, all right? Maybe AB. Maybe that's the only guy, Antonio Brown. But maybe Russell Westbrook and Antonio Brown, the two exceptions. But they're out, Max. They're done. I never would have thought these words would come out of my mouth this season. I knew it was gonna be bad at some point. I never thought it was gonna be this bad. And all season, me and you have been nonstop on this team's ass. How bad they are to watch and how ugly the basketball is. And we talked about all the problems in the offseason before the season started. Number one, they were old. Number two, the obvious moves that they made in the offseason with Russell Westbrook, getting older players, getting rid of the young players that play defense, Caruso, KCP, all of that stuff. And you came up with a great segment of basically what's the blame order for the Lakers. Yeah, the blame game, bro, because there's a lot of people involved. And to be honest, the top of the list for me, it has to be Rob Pelinka.
Oh, I'm glad glad. That was my number one guy. It's Rob, and I'll lead into Rob. I'm just gonna give you a synopsis real quick of how I feel. Just day one of this trade, it changed. Everyone, I feel like this was the most polarizing trade in NBA history. It was Russell Westbrook for KCP, Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, a first-round pick. We didn't love the trade to start with. We had Isaiah on the pod, who never again showed his face because he knew how bad it was. That's not why. Isaiah's more than welcome, but just there were people who thought this was going to work. We both picked the Lakers to go over just from a talent standpoint. We always questioned, is this going to work? We never thought it would work in the playoffs because we'd get exposed. And
one of the big things, Max, that we didn't account for that's huge in this whole thing is AD missing numerous amount of games.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. I'm just saying we never thought it would work even with the health. I feel like I never really bought into it. I said I have to see it before I can really believe it's going to work. Even when they were healthy, I didn't see it.
My expectations were having a good regular season, get all the hype, and then first round exit.
Yeah,
that was my expectation. But with Anthony Davis getting hurt, I mean, I think that just it accelerated this process of them being bad.
Exactly. And then Rob Pelinka, I'm not mad at him for, not doing anything at the trade deadline. That was like putting a bandage on a gunshot. It was over. Don't just tank the team a little bit more to try to save it. No, he didn't do that. But the fact that, and I know LeBron has power, the fact that he pushed it, like if I was Rob Pelinka, I would have cut up a reel of Westbrook saying, what the fuck is he going to do, Bron? Please tell me. What is he going to do when you have the ball? How is his play style going to fit with yours? I don't understand. And then you sign and whiffed on Kendrick Nunn. Bang. Terrible. You let Caruso walk.
Yeah.
So we could have had DeMar, Caruso, Buddy Hield, and we ended up with Russ.
Yeah.
And hurt Kendrick Nunn, who didn't play. And it's not just Russ, which was a calamity. Look at our roster, Juan. Yeah. People were like, look at the Grizzlies. They're 20-2 without Ja. Look what LeBron's playing with.
Yeah.
He's playing with trash. It's Russell Westbrook. It's the fucking dead carcass of Trevor Ariza and Kent Bazemore.
Yeah. I mean, that's the roster's bad, obviously. And we've talked about the moves numerous times, and you bring up LeBron, and LeBron is second on my list. I'm sorry, LeBron is second because it starts at the top, and we know how much power LeBron has, and you have to blame him for this. I don't care if he's leading the league in scoring. I honestly don't give a damn about that, bro. The fact that he didn't play that night in Phoenix rubs me the whole wrong way, bro. And I don't care what our team sucked anyway. I don't care, bro. That's part of being a competitor. Be the fucking leader of the team.
I personally don't give a shit he didn't play in Phoenix. This season was over. That wasn't going to impact anything. The shit was over. We would have got blown out with LeBron, dude. We've talked about this freaking team. I don't have LeBron 2. I have him 3. Shout out to Big Russ, who I'm going to get into in a minute, who's number 2. This team, anytime, this is how I knew we were bad one, right? It'd be close, right? The whole game be close. Teams could flip the switch on the Lakers and blow them out. It was like a 6-minute window. They could just flip it, and Lakers couldn't handle it. That's how bad this team was. LeBron was there. I had a little hope after the Raptor game where he turned in a superhuman effort and Russ made a freaking play. But I don't blame LeBron. Like, what the hell, bro? The Phoenix is good, first of all. Phoenix wanted to end our season. They would have got us anyway, dude.
Man. I mean, honestly,
it don't matter. That's the mentality of that one regular season game was changing everything, bro. The Spurs still weren't going to lose. The Spurs still had a 2-game lead over us. Doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck?
You know what I call that? I call that James Harden mentality. That's exactly what I call it.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. The shit was over.
We were going to lose anyway. It's like, come on, dude. Fucking play. At least fucking play.
What do you want him to play and hurt his ankle even more? Or you think it's just bullshit ankle injury?
It's bullshit. What? So he can come out in a couple of days, Max, and get the fucking.
I want to say this
because that's more important.
It looked really stupid. That stupid April Fool's joke he said in retrospect.
Yeah, that was stupid.
That's the reason I think you're a little bit more fried than I am, because he made the joke like I'm out for season. He came back out. It's like, are you in or are you out? And I kind of get your point, but I just think it's dumb. It's like, come on.
I would tell you this, Max. I would tell you this. Would you feel different if he came out against OKC? We're recording this before the regular season ends. They play OKC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If he comes out OKC, I'm like,
the nail in the coffin. That's the nail in the coffin. Yeah, it's
like, okay, you're clearly looking for a scoring title, which, what does it matter? You're not going to be a better player than Michael Jordan because you want one extra scoring title.
If you're hurt that much, don't play. I don't want to see you the rest of the season.
No, I don't want to see Russ. I don't want to see AD. I don't want to see Bron the rest of the season. Hey, we're taping this right after the Lakers play the Warriors. THT,
you got smacked.
Get that trade value up, bro. Get that shit up. Get another 40 piece. Yeah, show us why we gave you that $10 million. He was going to be an honorable mention on my blame, but
you know what though? I still blame LeBron. Look. he's an amazing player, Max. Doesn't take away anything from what he's done. But the way that he has so much power with the Lakers and he told them to make this move, it's just mind-boggling.
Well, can I make my case for us as as the second worst guy?
I think Russ is more of the case. Like, what is it really like his fault that they traded for him? All these pieces,
100%, 100%.
He is who he is, though, Max. It's not like he.
Yeah, but when you know a guy, can I make the case? Russ met with LeBron and AD. I agree with you. LeBron has a crazy amount of power, but that's why I got Pelinka at 1, because you could have been like, no, we're not going to do it. You could have just said no, and he's going to be like, what are you going to fucking leave? Go for it. We'll fucking trade you. So look, Russ met with him, was like, hey, egos aside, I don't even think it's really an ego thing with Russ anymore. There's just no skills that translate to today's NBA, really. Yeah, he can rebound. That's great. You really want your point guard to get 10 rebounds a game. You really want your point guard to push the ball and just miss a fucking layup. Russ is declining. No, excuse me. He's declined. He's done. I don't see they said the Hornets have trade value for him. No, he doesn't. I blame Russ for the simple fact that you're a fucking first ballot Hall of Famer. You are a top 75 player ever, but you are just immovable object. You can't get the fuck out of the way of your own team. You can't be cohesive. You can't fucking get better. And I'm sorry. Everything about his legacy, all that bullshit everyone's talking about, the key was bullshit. They're saying this about Russ. Is it wrong? Am I wrong to say Russ sucked this year? Is Russ a Hall of Famer, first ballot, top 75 player? Hell yeah. Was Russ one of the best players in the league at one point? Did he win an MVP? Sure. This year, he was a tragedy on the court. He was awful. And I think he literally played himself out of ever getting a big contract ever again. I mean, he wasn't going to get one anyway. He's old. But like, did he play himself out of the league is my question.
To me, Max, especially me and you, like, we're on this boat fucking 2 years ago. Like, nothing's new what we've seen from Russell Westbrook. I think the only difference is that this year he really didn't have a stretch where he had that triple-double mode. You know how, like, in Washington, the whole season he was shit, and then at the end, they made that big old run, and he was playing, like, pretty good basketball. He was playing Russell Westbrook basketball. This year, it was just zero. Like, you didn't see any of that. And to me, like, we knew what we're getting from Russell Westbrook as Laker fans. I don't blame Russell Westbrook. He came out there, and he played Russell Westbrook ball. Like, that's what we got him for. And on LeBron's side, you're the one who brought this to my attention when it first happened. Like, how if you're LeBron and AD and you just play these guys in the playoffs and see how flawed the dude was and how much you guys exposed them in the playoffs, and you have in your mind that this is going to work?
I think it's because they know him. They bought, like, he sold them the bill, and he didn't like lie to him and say, hey, like, I think Russ believed he could do this, and Russ is their friend, and they wanted to do their friend a solid, and they thought, hey, man, if it works, it'll really work. And like we said, this is going to be boom or bust, most likely bust. And I blame Russ for never adapting. That's what I blame Russ for. That's why he's second on here.
His whole career.
And you know what? And he does all this little bullshit where I rock the baby when I get a dunk, but I can't play defense, and I get really pissy at Frank Vogel, who I'm going to segue to. He's the fourth guy on here. We ran over Frank Vogel. They threw this guy under the freaking bus
at all.
I'm just putting him there just because I feel like he's a little bit to blame with some of the shitty rotations he had, or he was like sticking it out with bums. But they built a shitty roster around him. They literally put him in a position to fail, and then they're surprised he failed. And as a coach who won a championship, who even that roster was supposed to be shitty. I don't know if I'm sure you remember one that everyone said, how they going to win? They have no shooters. How they have no the bubble. But fuck you guys. He coached the hell out of that team. He had the good lineups out there to close out games. He adjusted after every game won. And now we're just going to throw him into the fucking wilderness and just throw him away, ran him over.
I would blame AD before him.
AD was fifth on my list. I mean, he got hurt. Like, I don't know if you can blame a guy for getting hurt.
And
I
when he
mean,
did play, he was either out of shape or just his nonchalant self out there.
he had a little bit at the end that kind of like reminded me why I'm so like enamored with his talent. But man, I think it's the top three are their own special group of just blame game, man, and they deserve it. And anyone who says this isn't going to tarnish Westbrook's legacy, I think it just proves all the naysayers about him right. It proved LeBron might have too much power at this stage in his career, and it showed Rob Pelinka spineless to say, "Hey, you know what? We're not going to do this. You traded 3 good players for a bad player, and let another good one walk." It's like Frank Vogel's team's all about defense. We trade away all the defense, like we said. It's on like a broken record, and then we're surprised we can't play defense.
Right. I would tell you this though, Max. We're lucky we won a championship.
Oh, 100%.
It's so weird. I mean, look, with all this said, at least they won a championship out of this, because as far as the LeBron AD experiment, it has been not good at all. It's been a first round exit with AD getting hurt consistently. And with the LeBron experiment, as far as he's been in LA, he's missed the playoffs twice already. And
well,
look, the bubble was weird. It was weird, dude. Like, and as much shit as Laker fans get, as far as calling it the Mickey Mouse ring and all that shit, it's gonna be true. In 10 years, we're gonna look back and they're gonna look at that championship, and it's always gonna have a star by it, because it's gonna say it was won in the bubble. And everyone's gonna have their own opinion, whether how real that was or how whatever. It's always gonna be weird. And it's just like, yeah, it paid off because we won a ring, but damn, it was a weird ass ring. Like, I don't know how I feel about it.
It's a championship in my book. The best teams, all the teams were there. Everyone had the same freaking obstacles to go through. It's not like anyone had a choice in it. Hey, it's not my fault COVID took over the freaking world. But I'll say this one. I'm going to play the ultimate LeBron fanboy. Bro, you know what happens when LeBron misses the playoff one year? What happens next year, right? Championship. New coach. Got it.
I just think LeBron's at a point where he cannot be the guy who does everything, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Wasn't that was why he traded for us, right? Lessen that load, and all Russ did was say, here's all the weight of shit I can't do. You can carry it.
Yeah. And
the Lakers are trapped, dude. There's so little room. They're gonna have to pull off a freaking just sleight of hand trick and get somebody. And yeah, trading for John Wall, that's gonna be great when we have to play guys who play basketball in 3 years.
I hope they blow it up, bro. I hope they blow it up. I wouldn't mind exploring options as far as trading AD, as crazy as that sounds, as much as it sucks to hear. I love AD as far as bubble AD, but
I'm anti-trade AD. Keep AD, keep Bron. Just find a way to get some talent. And it's going to be hard. And we've talked about this when we talked about the Suns, right? Think of the Suns roster. There's 9 good players on it, right? Lakers was what, 3.5, 4?
I would say this though, Max. Look, if you try to make it work, LeBron has 1 more year in LA. You're gonna go all in for the AD and LeBron experiment, which is probably gonna be giving up more draft picks if you want to improve the roster. To me, it's just simply not worth it.
What's 1 more? It's like, you imagine you go to a bank and you take out a loan for $1 million, and then you're like, well, I need 100,000 more. What the fuck's another 100,000? You're already in the hole for $1 million. Go 1 more. Fuck it. Just do it. I'm saying that's the position we're already in, so might as well just go all in. If you're in for a penny, you might as well be in for $1.
I would just get way more building blocks to get some picks.
How many years of bad is a championship worth? 3?
Oh, man. Yeah, I would say.
Because there's some dark days ahead. More. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, we basically agreed for. I wouldn't say last year was dark, because that was just a lot of bad luck and COVID, short off season bullshit, whatever. This year was bad, and when LeBron leaves, it'll probably be bad. So we're gonna get a 5-year stretch where we're really bad to pay for that one championship. No. I don't know.
Does your LeBron legacy drop at all?
No, it's not his fault. He had to go out there with a terrible point guard and a guy who didn't play.
It kind of is his fault.
A little bit his fault. Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, he's the one that made the fucking decision.
I would say if I was gonna break down my blame for this, Pelinka, give him 20, Russ 20. No, give Pelinka 25, Russ 25, LeBron 20, and you can split up the other percent. Sorry, Frank. I really feel bad for Frank. He's gonna just get fired for this.
I wouldn't look.
Oh, who was your fifth guy? Do you have anyone else for blame? AD and who?
Look, I'm giving all the blame to Pelinka, LeBron, and AD. Those three guys.
Oh, come on. Just for me throwing Russ. Just give a little Russ.
Look, I agree with you. Russ is fucking terrible, bro. But I'm not.
He deserves blame for just as many shots he fucking banked off the side of the backboard.
That's him, bro. That's him.
You can't make $50 million a year and hit the backboard that freaking much.
Hey, look, the Lakers were not held at gunpoint saying, "Take me, take me." Like no one made us do this. This wasn't a desperation. Like, oh my god, like it was the only option out there. To me, it's all their fault, bro.
Where do you rank this scenario that LeBron has pictures of Rob Pelinka like cheating on his wife that he's blackmailing him with?
Goodness.
LeBron has to have some dirt.
I don't know about that, dude. I just look. I would love, a year from now or 5 years, wherever it comes out. I would love to know exactly.
When Russ gets traded, the stories are gonna happen of Russ was the freaking worst. He didn't practice. What was the Andrew Bynum story? Like anytime he caught the ball, he just shot it. That's right. Gonna be the story about Russ. He just never passed. I'm
talking more just what happened. Like who made that decision in the offseason? Like who really did it? And I'm so curious to know because that would change my perspective on LeBron. But
yeah, it was a bad Lakers season, and I had to listen to some dumbass tell me 3 weeks ago we're gonna make it, and he tried to sell me a bill of goods, and I was like, bro, I don't think so. This shit's over, bro. Bro, we couldn't even make LeBron talked all that shit about the play-in, and that was what he was clinging on dear life for. And he said, I hope you guys keep that same energy. Well, we kept it, bro. You guys suck. You can if you can't say the Lakers suck this year, you're blind to it. Russ was bad. AD was hurt, and he was kind of not himself. And LeBron, he was good, but I think he checked out like he kind of typically does when he sees it falling off the rails.
I think everyone kept that same energy, as LeBron likes to say. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for a little mini episode for you guys. Little Laker rant, a lot of cursing, a lot of explicit content in this one. But me and Max are just two passionate Laker fans, dude, that it pisses us off, bro. It's hard. It's hard to watch. Hard to watch. On a scale of 1 to 10, Max. No, not on a scale of 1 to 10.
I have a good one if you're
Who's the worst team to watch in Lakers history? I wouldn't even say, look, the Byron Scott teams were really bad.
No, I don't compare it to those teams. It's simple as this one. Is this worse? This is way worse than the Dwight Howard year. 100 times worse.
At least Kobe put us on our back. I'm just saying Kobe would have played in Phoenix.
Yeah, probably. That was probably. I mean, if LeBron played in Phoenix, that was probably going to be like he broke his leg. If the seasons added up the same.
I so hope Max he fucking plays in that game just to fucking like.
I hope he goes off for 60 that game.
He does because he is. He's gonna go for it, bro.
And he's gonna put 37-year-old won the Scory title mom on blast. The kid from Akron. I am. Well, what did he say? I am greatness. Witness greatness.
I love LeBron, man, but damn, sometimes the shit that he does bothers the shit out of me, man. Oh my goodness. That's gonna do it, you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you guys are Laker fans or if you guys are Laker haters, like the video, bro. Let us know how many are out there and comment down below. What do you guys think, man? Are we tripping? Were we too hard on the Lakers? Is Russell Westbrook the GOAT still? And we're just being hard. We're haters.
Yeah, Russ haters.
All that good stuff, man. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We are out. Peace.